10% of 2024 is already gone, meaning that if you wanted to achieve all your New Year's resolutions, you would have made 10% of progress towards your goals already. Now, have you? Now, you might have entered into this year with the best intentions, only for you to fall off the wagon again and again and not transform into the person that you know that you can be. So if that's you, then watch this video all the way to the end, because I'm going to explain to you exactly how you can still achieve your New Year's resolutions in 2024, even if you haven't even started yet and feel like you have to wait until next year to make it happen. So something you have to know is that February is Quitters Month. How do I know this? I went into my gym on January 1st and I go there just like I did every single day, and it was packed. I couldn't even get a machine. I didn't even want to work out because of how busy it was. So fast forward to January 20th and that gym is empty. There's all those people that were there before, they're gone. Everybody had already quit on their New Year's resolutions. And that's the litmus test. Like, if most people are going to quit, they are literally going to quit right now. And for some very specific reasons why. Number one is that they try to do too much at one time. They overwhelm themselves by trying to work out and change their diet and trying to do so many things all at once. And then this leads to just overwhelm, and then most of the times it leads to burnout. The next reason is that they just rely on motivation. I remember I was talking to someone and they're like, Dan, how do you get motivated to go to the gym? And I went back to them, I'm like, I am literally 99.9% of the time never motivated to go to the gym. I do it because it is just a part of me. It's just something that I do now. And if I waited on motivation to hit the gym, I'd probably be a fat you know what. And I have nothing against motivation, but motivation should be used as a spark to spur you into action, but it shouldn't be used as the fuel to keep you going. Now, the next reason is actually one of the most insidious reasons of all, which is the fact that they actually don't even believe in themselves in the first place. When people look in the mirror saying they're going to make all these changes, there's like a little bit of fear and doubt in the back of their mind saying, you're not going to do it this time. You're going to go, you're going to quit, and then you're just going to go back to this all over again next year. And you're just going to feel worse about yourself. And true change comes from having the idea and the belief that you can change and that you can transform yourself. The final reason is that when people are trying to make change, they leave themselves to be accountable to themselves. When for the past 5, 10, 20 years, leaving themselves accountable to themselves hasn't really worked out that well, has it? And how would I know this? I was living it just recently. It was April 2023. My second daughter was born. And as the Norwegians say, going from one child to two is like going from one child to 10, because you're not playing zone defense anymore. You're literally man to man. There is no time that you have in your hands to do the things that you actually had time for in the first place. So in the midst of being sleep deprived, of not having enough time to go to the gym and not having enough time to even like cook myself healthy meals, I got out of shape. So what did I do? I did what I did best, which is I just like set one goal, and it was the goal that meant the most to me. And for me, that was losing weight. And I broke it down of a few actions that if I took consistently on a regular basis, it would get me to my goal. Then afterwards, I focused on the first action. Instead of overwhelming myself with all of these things that I had to do, I focused on one specific action that if I just took it, then I would create that momentum for myself. And I'm proud to say, I've gotten myself back into a reasonably good shape. Am I back to where my standards are? Absolutely not. I'm still getting there, but I've dropped about 10 pounds since that time. I'm very proud of myself. I got myself the energy back. I got my habits back, and it all started with just creating and just sustaining by a simple system. So let me show you what that simple system is. And also, when you're watching this, what I want you to do is I want you to follow along. I want you to take action. I want you to do it along with me, because that is what's going to create momentum in your life. So step one is to set only one destination. If you're trying to get in shape, don't try to lose weight, build muscle, and run a marathon all at the same time. If you're trying to fix your money habits, don't try to focus on investing and saving and also paying off your credit card debt. You want to focus on one thing at a time, and think of your destination as if you are taking a flight. You're not going to choose to go to two places at the same time. You're only going to choose to go to one place. And then if you choose to go to that one place, what you're going to do is you are going to just choose the path that is going to get you there in the safest, fastest, most sustainable way possible. And when you set this, I want you to set it in a very specific way. You're going to set it by saying, I, your name, we'll use my name. My name's Dan Go. I, Dan Go, weigh 170 pounds. And then I am literally going to put that on a sticky note. I'm going to put it in a place where I can see it every single day. You have to understand that your mind is like a servo mechanism. It is like a heat-seeking torpedo. If you have the right directions and if you have the right destination that you give it, it is going to point itself towards that destination. The problem is most people people point it towards a horrible destination. Most people point towards the things that they don't want because they constantly think about it. So what I want you to do is I want you to set the destination, I want you to see it, and then afterwards you're going to do the next step. The next step is the step that most people don't want to do, which is to assess your current situation. Where are you right now? Let's use weight loss as an example. So I was talking to a very successful entrepreneur, multi-millionaire, and I asked him, I was like, okay, well, how often do you track your numbers? How often do you track the KPIs in your business? And he was like, I track them like every single day. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, when's the last time that you tracked your weight? And he's like, Dan, I don't even own a scale. And mind you, this guy was trying to lose about 40 pounds off of his body. If he wanted to track one thing, it would be his weight, but he didn't do it because he was too chicken to not do it. And I know it's trite to say, it's like the old Peter Drucker quote, which is like, what you measure is what you manage, but it is true. Especially when you're setting a destination, you have to understand where you're coming from so you can chart course towards that destination. So I'll use weight loss as an example, but if you have a different New Year's resolution, you can put in your own things, but let's use weight loss. So if I were to assess weight loss, at least I would get the basics down, which is your weight, measurements around your waist, your hips, and your chest. Especially for guys, around the waist, that is where you want to be measuring because that is where most guys usually carry most of their weight. And then lastly, you actually want to take pictures. Those are the most basic. If you want to get advanced, you can actually do your blood work, you can do a DEXA. You actually want to assess your current situation and have a dashboard of these KPIs in front of you so you can see whether or not you are making way towards the destination. And then you would want to do this on a consistent basis. And just like that guy was checking his scores of his business every single day, you want to do the same thing for any goal that you set for yourself. Now, step 3 is in complete opposition to step 1. I actually want you to forget about the goal. You know what the destination is, all right? You know exactly where you want to go. The next step is to create systems in order to get there. And the systems don't have to be robust. They just have to be effective. And I like to keep my systems down to 3, maximum 4 actions that I'm taking on a regular basis that I know that are going to get me to the destination that I want. And one thing I will say, especially when it comes to systems, is that when it comes to your goal, you want to be stubborn as fuck. When it comes to your systems, you want to be as flexible as possible because when you do your first system, it's probably not going to be the one that you're going to stick with. You have to modify the plan, adapt the plan to whatever it is that you're facing, and everybody's context, everybody's situation is completely different. So you want to make sure that you are being very flexible with the systems and also very stubborn with the goal that you set. The most important step, which is just to take the first action. Nothing happens if you don't take the first step. And you don't have to think about all the steps that you have to do outside of that step. You actually just have to take the first step. So if working out is one of those things that you want to bring into your life, I'm using this as an example, then just make it a habit or actually just set a goal to just show up at the gym. If you just show up at the gym and you don't want to do a workout, totally cool. You can bust out, you can leave. But I'm pretty sure that you're going to want to do something since you're there already. The first step is just to set momentum by taking that first action. And this relates to what I was talking about in my previous video, which was the formula for massive success. This is the formula that I've used to build a 7-figure business, to growing my following to 1.5 million followers, to being a great dad, to being a great husband. It's literally just these 3 steps. The first step is to show up, and you're going to show up to the arena not as a spectator, but as a participant, because nothing happens if you don't show up. Results don't happen if you don't show up. You can't even lift weights if you don't show up to the gym. And I'm going to say that's the most important step in this whole formula, which is just to show up, because I'll tell you right now, 99% of people out there, they're not even fucking showing up. Now, the next step is going to be doing the work. You showed up to the gym. That's great. Just do 1 rep of whatever exercise that you want to do, especially if you're just starting out. You don't have to have an elaborate plan. You don't have to have the workout from Men's Health magazine or from that guy on Instagram. All that, okay? All you got to do is just do whatever work that you feel is best for you. You can always optimize later. I actually like to go preferential before optimization. And then the final step is what you're going to want to do anyways. It's going to be something that's going to happen over the course of time, is just to look for ways to improve. And that's like the step that I took when I was just this fat, lazy slob, this high school dropout that pretty much had no purpose. And then I just said, hey, I'm just going to go to the gym, and worst case scenario, I'm going to see girls, and best case scenario is I get myself in shape. And I did everything horribly inside that gym, but then it became a habit. And then afterwards, I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing everything horribly. Why don't I just try to like improve myself? Why don't I just try to learn the form, all that kind of stuff? And that's how momentum starts. That's all you want. You want momentum. momentum. And the knot that ties the bow together is going to be accountability. You can get accountability through investing in a coach or finding a group of friends where the standard that you're trying to set is their standard. Either one of those are actually probably the best ways to do it. You are who you hang around and who you get mentored by on a regular basis. The worst thing is trying to keep yourself accountable, because you try to keep yourself accountable. You've been trying to do this for however long you've been trying to keep yourself accountable and it hasn't been working. It's like beating a dead horse. That's exactly how you can still achieve your New Year's resolutions in 2024. And if you like this video and you want to learn more and learn how to be a high performer in life, then click the first link in my description to sign up for my newsletter. Every week, you and 210,000 other people get tips, tricks, and insights into how to increase your performance, build your body, and achieve your goals. Click the link in the description right now, get free access to that, and make sure to like and subscribe for more content from me, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.